You're listening to the Rotten Gems podcast.
The show where three dudes talk about movies we love.
And that critics thought should go ninja, go ninja, go. Now let's get rotten. If you're still listening, whether it's on purpose or you showed up to some weird job interview at a junkyard where there's a bunch of people that look like they belong in the movie The Warriors and they're all just in line about to beat the crap out of each other, and you decided this is a little much for me. But on your way out, as someone was getting kicked, you noticed that they dropped their phone, and on their phone they happened to be listening to Rotten Gems. So you decided to give us a go. Well, we thank you. And who exactly is we? Well, let me introduce you to my co-hosts.
Yeah, I'm John, and I lead.
I'm Brett, and I do machines.
I'm Marcus. I'm cool but rude.
I'm Keenan. I'm a party dude.
And we are your Rotten Gems crew. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you haven't guessed it already, today we are here talking about, well, one of them, but which one? Specifically, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of
Out
the
of the
Ooze.
shadows. What?
Yes, that was the one.
God damn it.
Oh, no.
Which, to this day, I will argue to my grave, is the best Ninja Turtles movie.
How dare you?
No, that one's awful, Keenan. Stop showing it to me. Arguably the best in the original trilogy. We had to choose this one for multiple reasons we'll get into. But yes, this was the 1991 smash hit, PG-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. And I think it's important to know why we're talking about this today, because what qualifications does a movie have to have for us to be talking about it, fellas?
It's gotta be rotten.
It's got to be rotten. So how rotten do you think it is? If you haven't looked it up, let's go, John. John, how rotten do you think this movie is? What do you think critics scored it?
Oh, man. Rotten Tomatoes, rotten. Let's see. I would think it scored a 40
Okay.
for rotten.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close. Anyone else have any guesses? I mean, I'm sure you already know it. You looked.
I haven't looked it up, too, by the way. Haven't looked it
I
up.
figured you hadn't.
Yeah.
I figured you hadn't.
41 and $1.
Ooh, Price is Right rules. You lose even more because it was scored 35%.
Oh, I was gonna say 34 and a dollar.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So would
good
that
thing
be
you didn't get to
35?
play it
I
off.
win, right?
Yeah.
34 and $1. So wouldn't that just be 35?
Oh, well, then it's dead on.
What? I'm just curious in your mind, if 34 wasn't $34, what was it? But yes, that's 35% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics, 67% by fans, and a 6 out of 10 on IMDb out of 54,000 reviews. That is 6 giant dandelions, 6 pre-fight donuts, or 6 sausage nunchucks with which to do a little chucking every now and then out of 10. So, before we continue talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, starring Paige Turco, David Warner, and Ernie Reyes Jr., we would like to give you a little spoiler warning. We are about to talk about this movie in depth. There will be spoilers. So if you didn't want to be spoiled on a now 30-year-old movie, pause, go watch it, and come back. Yeah, it just kind of hit me. We're old, guys.
But enjoy the movie for everybody that's pausing. It's a great one.
And they're back. So hopefully you paused it and you have watched it, and it's good to see you. Let's pick up right where we left off. Guys, before we jump right in, I want to know, what were your initial thoughts going into this movie? Did you think, oh, I'm looking forward to this? Did you think you were going to hate it? Let's go around the room here. Keenan, what do you got? What was your initial thoughts?
All right. So, I mean, we talked about this before a little bit, but I did not remember that this movie was this movie. I thought 90% of what happened in this movie was actually in the first Ninja Turtles. So I don't even think I remembered what happened in this movie until I rewatched it today. I honestly expected to go in and not enjoy the movie. And I was right. 100% right.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to say that I was so worried when I was watching this movie. I was like, man, I'm going to be the odd man out. This is not fun to watch.
I literally took a note here and it said, I'm at the junkyard fight. I hate you guys.
Is this a Rotten Jebs first?
Oh my god.
John, what about you? What was your initial reaction when you went to go start this movie?
Oh man, like I was going in thinking that, man, I love these movies. Like I could remember all of these movies except kind of for this one. I was with Keenan too, where everything that happened, I kind of thought this was part of that first one. So I went in like, man, I'm gonna love this movie. It was great. Like it was old, but it's still a good movie. And then you watch it and you're just you just get blown away so many times, where if you're watching it with somebody, it's almost even better because you're like, that really just happened that way? Like, did that robber in the beginning just literally lift up his mask right away when somebody comes in, when you're breaking in? Like, why does that happen that way? But yeah, it was.
Why are you even wearing the mask?
It was very shocking, and I thought I was going to be a stan about the movie, but you just can't. You just can't. It hurt.
Very thorough, guys. I guess for the first time here, this is new. Yeah, I'm the odd man out. I was actually really excited to watch this again. I mentioned it on previous episodes, but growing up, I had maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 6 like VHS tapes to my name that, you know, as a young kid with that had a family TV, no cable, you have 5 or 6 things to watch, and this was one of them. So I've seen this movie probably more times than I can count, and it's been a while. So I was happy to go into it again, but I guess this is going to change how we talk about it, but not really, because we still just go through this from start to finish. But if you're listening and you wanted to watch this movie again, and you have recently, let us know what you think about it. But I guess with that, guys, let's just jump into that opening scene. It starts with everybody, New Yorkers being New Yorkers, doing the one
Hey,
thing.
forget about it.
Pizza.
Just pizza and rats.
Pizza. I would like to go on record, you know, saying that, you know, I'm known for a few things, but the number one is that my friend group's like, oh yeah, he's the pizza guy. You know, I got pizza pins, pizza, you know, apparel, whatnot. I would like to blame this opening scene for my love of pizza, because even before watching this again, I was like, man, I can't wait to watch that opening pizza scene again. Did that
Just all the cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Especially because if you guys have ever watched the Ninja Turtle cartoons, their pizza always looks so great, right?
It's phenomenal. You can't. It's perfect. Like they
Right.
pick it out somehow. It's just dripping cheese, but it stays on the pizza until they
Incredible.
eat it. So it's mind blowing.
Yeah, so I was very happy to see that this scene still held up with that. You know, everyone eating pizza, different kinds. I mean, it's all New York style, which is fine. But
Different kinds of people, right?
That's yeah, different kinds. Well, but different kinds of ways of eating it. You got some people that folded it. You got some people that did that giant cheese pull. You got a cop handcuffed to a guy eating it, and you know, because that would happen. A cop putting himself in handcuffs.
Pizza.
Only New York style.
Get in the way of that.
Pizza brings us peace.
Nice. That was deep. That was deep. But I did have a problem with this scene right away, and I just say I know we're gonna have lots of problems with this movie based on your guys' initial reactions. But Kino, our one of our protagonists, is introduced.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and he is about to go do a delivery. You know, the pizza owner, restaurant manager guy, whatever. He's like, here, I got another order for this O'Neill woman. And I couldn't help but notice that he just grabs the pizza off the top of the thing, and he just hands it to him like a book, like not keeping it flat, just like turns it completely sideways.
The entire delivery he does that. That bugged me so much. That pizza's everywhere.
Yeah, no respect for the pizza in this movie.
So yeah, no respect at all for that pizza. Guy hands it to Kino. It's sideways, and we've seen in that previous scene how cheesy that is. So all that cheese is just caked on the side of the box. Hands it to Kino. At least Kino is nice enough to drive with it flat. But when he gets to his destination, takes it out of the box and holds it sideways.
Hey, wait,
So
you skipped Kino's most savage line when he's about to
Oh
deliver
man,
the pizza.
I was going to talk about that later when we brought up did this hold up, but I guess we can mention it now. Go ahead, drop it on us, Marcus.
And he's like hitting on that girl who clearly just has no interest in him, probably because he's a pizza delivery guy.
He's also
okay.
like
Now we're shaming.
he's also like 5'0"
I'm
nothing,
sorry.
which is fine, but it's something that it's a quality that women don't find admirable, or so it has been explained to me.
Just got to find the right one. Short guys and pizza, and he's in. That's all he needs.
But
Go
then
ahead.
she tells him to dream on, dweeb, which is kind of rude.
Very 90s
You know.
insult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say rude or crude?
I
A
couldn't
little bit of
tell,
both.
actually. Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Well, actually, hers was rude. His is kind of crude when he says, "Yeah, I'll be dreaming of something thinner."
Oof.
Jeez.
That thing
I
cracked me up.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. As a kid, though, I was like, got him.
Yeah.
As an adult
Burn.
now, I'm like, oh.
I mean, she kind of deserved it. She could have not been
I mean, I guess
so rude.
To be
there are
fair, this
ways.
isn't the first time. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
he's probably
yeah.
hanging out in front of the place all the time, and he's constantly trying.
That's fair. I mean, for all we know, that this could happen every single night, and she just finally is like, no,
And it took him that long to think of
right.
something.
Yeah, because we know Miss
Jerk
O'Neill
store.
orders a lot of pizza.
Speaking of that, fast forwarding here back to where we were of Kino arriving to where he's going to deliver the pizza. Kino doesn't make it to April O'Neil's apartment because there's some commotion going on in this underground mall or something. I don't know. He goes downstairs to what looks like a mall. But one thing I specifically wanted to look out for here is there's vans getting loaded up with merchandise that the foot was stealing here, and I was like, oh man, let's see what peak technology was in 1991. So if you were to look at the contents of some of the boxes being loaded onto the vans, right away you know that this was top of the line stuff because they had 19-inch color TVs.
Woo!
I mean, talk about
Balling
balling.
back then, yep.
Yeah.
So they have Nintendo's too.
Sheesh.
Jeez.
One thing though, I guess I don't know if I misunderstood what this is or if this is just another terminology for it, but there was a box and it was labeled literally word for word special TV microwave computer. What does that even mean?
I don't know what it means, but it sounds like it needs to exist
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
Would
Quick.
that have existed if the Foot didn't steal it for themselves?
Dang. That was prototype technology.
TMNT is in the Back to the Future universe, confirmed.
This movie sucks even more. Than Awaken Us.
So yeah, then we see Kino stopping a robbery, and good old burglars here are very, very smart, wearing their pantyhose masks, looking like true PS2 Grand Theft Auto characters. But one of them does what now? What was that?
he just lifts up his mask right away. He's like, hey, somebody's catching us. Let me lift up my mask to see who it is and ask him what's up.
Let me identify myself.
Just right away. Just, hey guys,
Plus-
what do you want?
Plus, Kino's first instinct was to say, "You're under arrest." So as far as that guy knows,
He's a cop.
turning around, it's a cop.
Yeah.
Do you think he was night security?
I don't know.
I was hoping another one of you wrote down that line.
Yeah,
Well,
I
actually,
did.
he was pizza delivery. You guys
Uh,
suck. I hate you.
you know what? I'm gonna. Hey,
I might have fallen asleep at that point.
I'm gonna be honest
First
here.
5 minutes.
I did not write a lot of notes because I think I started zoning out a lot on this movie.
Because you were just enjoying it the whole time. Got it. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good time to mention, this is the first time we see it's revealed Kino's martial arts chops here. Fun fact, Ernie Reyes Jr., who plays Kino, was actually Donatello's fight double in the first TMNT. And the producers actually liked him so much that they just created this role of Kino for him in the second one. So they had actually a lot of complaints with the first movie in that it was too violent. They wanted it toned down a little bit. And this is one of
Makes
only
sense.
two. Yeah, this is only one of two TMNT movies ever that does not have Casey Jones in it because they deemed Casey Jones too violent. So they actually put Kino. They created Kino and put him in this spot. This is the only piece in the TMNT universe where Kino exists, which I did not know.
You're
And
building a case for my point. This
Mm-hmm.
movie's terrible.
It just
No
all
Casey
supports
Jones.
it.
They barely use weapons in this movie.
You can't. They don't even use weapons really. It's just the bow staff. That's all you. That's all they use. It's just a
that was
wooden
actually by design
stick.
too. Yeah, that was part of the reason because of the complaints of the violence. They rarely used it. I think Raphael caught a piece of pizza on his side.
Oh,
And
that's true.
That was the most action that
And
side got.
Leonardo uses his swords. He like sticks them up into the ceiling and uses them to like kick with. I think.
Yeah.
That's
And
true
that's
in
it.
the first scene, which
I-
to me physics nightmare. You just
Yeah.
grab the swords and they'd pull right back
That,
out.
that was another thing. Non-barbed swords just stuck into a drywall roof,
Drywall.
holding this heavy turtle up. Oh man.
Speaking of the turtles, this is where we did first see them, and similar to Mortal Kombat, my first thought was, "Hey, these actually look pretty good," because it wasn't a CGI thing. It didn't have the reptile effect. We have Jim Henson's studio here to thank for that. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on the turtles themselves, not the movie? Don't tell me you hate them.
The turtles looked amazing. That was one thing that I thought when I first saw him. Jim Henson knows his shit. But the movie sucks.
Wow. Wow. I will say though that in the original, the first TMNT in the 1990 film, the turtles' facial expressions were all like cable operated. They had motors and stuff housed in the shell. But in this movie, they had a much bigger budget, and the animatronics were smaller and lighter, and actually built into the face itself, which was pretty apparent because you could definitely see the emotion being conveyed on a turtle's face. I thought, so I was very much pleased with the turtles themselves. But then we cut back to April's house after this little thing, and that's where we're introduced to our other favorite animatronic here. Well, one of them, and that is Master Splinter. So Sammy was actually in here watching this part of the movie with me, and I'll be honest, Splinter came on the screen, and both of us together in unison went, "Ew."
They made him look really good. Like I'm sorry. It's the ew to me makes me think of people because he really looks like a rat. I mean,
Like a rat.
yeah, and his eyeballs are
Rat
creepy.
action.
Like it's just, but I think they did him really well, and the turtles as well. But he's harder, right? The turtles are pretty simple if you think about their design and how they look compared to Splinter. So I actually think they did him well.
One thing I was disappointed about in this movie is that out of all like the cool suits they had in this movie, there wasn't one with 4 arms where they could have
Oh, get
2
out of
people
here!
controlling it with somebody on another person's shoulders.
Uh,
I think we could have really used that
I
in
mean,
this movie.
for all we know, it could have been 2 people in the turtle suit.
Mhm.
Okay, one operating the arms and one the legs.
What movie was it? I know there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie where like actors almost died in those suits.
It's probably the
I think that
first
was
one.
called
Yeah, so
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five the actress who played April in the first movie, Judith Hogue, she did not reprise her role in the second one. And reading up on it, it was basically like a lot of people had complained that the stunt doubles were like treated very poorly. I didn't look too much into the poor conditions, and she backed that up. She's like, no, they absolutely were. I agree. And I guess that left like a bad taste in the director's mouth, and they didn't invite her back. So instead, we got Paige Turco, which I thought she was great. This was actually her first movie acting role. She'd been in a soap opera before this, and so this was like her breakout role. I've seen her in many things since then, but to me, she was always April O'Neil.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't remember half of the stuff in this movie. It threw me off that I remember the first April O'Neil.
Me too.
So it threw me off when I saw her, and then like I remember bits and pieces of this movie, like the fights and like that clown going back and forth. But there's so much of this movie I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen it.
To be fair, I just watched the movie and I don't remember 90% of what happened in that movie.
You guys are just hating on this big today.
It's just it doesn't have a lot of moments that stand out. It's like one thing that stands out for kind of a bad reason. But,
That's fair. I will
yeah.
say if I watch this purely as a new watcher and not a nostalgia, I probably wouldn't like it. And since I'm getting that most of you didn't remember this, like I was quoting the lines as they were saying them without still having seen this movie for a decade or two. So I guess maybe I wouldn't like it. One thing I will say got really old really quick throughout this whole movie is there's 4 turtles, right? 4 personalities. Every single thing that happens, we got 4 reactions to see how each of them would react.
Excellent.
Cowabunga!
Bummer. I don't remember what.
Onomatopoeia. So like I don't know, that got old really quick. But like they didn't necessarily, they weren't all interchangeable. So like one character would usually stay true to their quirks, I guess. So that was nice. But I don't know. I guess I'm the odd man out here.
An interesting thing about the characters too, when I was looking up the reviews for this on the guy that I was reading, that was something that he mentioned, is that they're all the same except for basically the weapons that they
Raphael.
use. Yeah.
Whoa.
But so hold on. And so they're in this movie because they don't really use their weapons and things like that. Like they have to be those catchphrases and what they say. And so it's kind of interesting how that's how some people interpret it, is that they're all the same character basically, except for just these one-liners.
Okay, but they also have different color bandanas.
True.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think I might be coming around on the movie. And no. Still sucks.
Get out of here. All right, advancing along, we are reintroduced to Master Shredder, and I say reintroduced because he was a very prominent villain in the first movie. So then we see Master Shredder return to claim his rightful throne as the leader of the foot, the hand, the appendage. What's up with ninja clans being named after body parts?
I think no, I didn't look this up, but I think that when they made the foot in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think they purposely called it the foot to kind of parody the hand
From Marvel,
which is what Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
So I that's why they named it the foot.
All right, hear me out. But just I need your honest opinions here, guys. Petition to start a new clan, and we'll be
The
called
Dongs.
the Penis. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Marcus is off board.
We're going to be too powerful. They're never going to let us start up.
One might say we'll get too hard.
Yeah, too hard. Can we talk about as well when Shredder came back, that scene?
Yeah.
Like why was that garbage just foggy? Like It just
New
looks
York,
like
baby.
had this
That's New York.
this layer. Was it steam from the garbage? It was just like it was a very interesting
John,
scene.
have you ever heard the phrase "hot garbage"?
Forget about it.
But then when
Hey, I'm walking here.
it just slowly fades away. Like, all right, now you can see the garbage because there's a hand coming out of it.
Why does that happen? Why is that a trope? Like
Yeah.
if I'm buried under shit, you know what's the first thing coming up? My head.
Yeah, so I can breathe.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
Ah, my hand's out. I can breathe.
Yeah, and you hold your hand there for a while too. So
For dramatic effect.
yeah.
So, how long is this movie supposed to take place after the first movie?
I
Because
think they said like 6 months or something, didn't they?
he's just chilling in trash for 6 months.
I think that, I mean I'll remember that for sure because I mean I'm not like Brett where I can quote this movie line by line. Like I think 3 is one of the best out of the series, not this one.
You
But
thought 3 was the
Whoa.
best?
oh no, so one of the best. It's definitely better than this one. Number 1 is the best.
Wow.
But
Hot take
yeah,
from John, who leads.
I think they said 6 months. Keenan. Oh, I'm sorry, Keenan.
I guess
Tell
let
him
me
to
ask a
chill.
question. Let me ask a question for the two parents here. If you had 6 months to just kind of chill and not do anything, wouldn't you take it?
Not in a junkyard.
In steamy, apparently garbage in the middle of the night.
Maybe he wasn't just chilling in garbage. Maybe like at night, that's just where he went back to bed.
Yeah.
He's
The
just come back to it, lay down.
I gotta reach my hand.
Yeah, and that explains his hand because he's stretching.
I mean, I gotta think that the events that led him to the dump, he lost everything, right? So, have you seen how crazy expensive rent is in New York? Like,
They have rent control, even in
point.
dumpsters and junkyards. Rent control.
I read that he wasn't supposed to be the villain in this one too. I heard originally it was supposed to be just a completely new villain, but the studio wanted to bring him back, so they did that as a late write-in.
they had to
Interesting.
get some draw. Yeah. So moving on, this is where we first are introduced to TGRI, Techno Global Research Industries, which is actually changed from the comic. Originally, the source of the ooze was aliens, and it was actually Techno Cosmic Research Institute. They decided to scrap that altogether. And here we're introduced to the giant dandelions and the potential that they hold. And I just got to ask, this ooze, right? So it makes things giant, and we've seen, people drink it. It be poured on things. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But what if you poured it on like a specific body part? Just spitballing here. What do you guys think would happen?
It would grow sharp teeth.
Okay,
And
so
my-
one in the pro column.
And my ego grew 3 sizes that day. Ponder that, listener. What do you think would happen if you poured TGRI ooze on yourself in control areas? Right.
Also, legally, we are not recommending that.
Yes.
Do not do that.
I
But
mean,
if you do, write us.
we will only take responsibility if it was successful and it ended up in your favor. But so here we got a little bit of backstory, and so then it cuts to the boys watching this TGRI broadcast, on TV, and Master Splinter, he is very adamant. We're watching this. Raphael wanted to change the channel because he's an impatient little punk ass bitch. But
Facts.
Whoa. Easy.
So Master Splinter sees the reveal of TGRI, and then he goes and ponders. Right. So at this point, the boys come back, and they're like, "Where's Master Splinter?" And this actually was my favorite part of the whole movie. And April gets home, and the boys are trying to surprise clean her entire apartment. and she inquires about the location of Master Splinter, and I can't remember which one of them was that answered. I think it was either Leo or Donnie, and they're like, "Oh, he's been up on the roof ever since he saw your report." And she goes, "Really? Doing what?" And then Master Splinter cuts to him, and he goes, "Coming to a decision." I'm like, why such a long pause?
You know why.
You do you, Master Splinter. Where did that ooze really come from? But I literally I laughed so hard during that scene. I rewound it, watched it like 2 more times. Great. I totally not something I picked up on as a child. Thankfully.
Master Splinter and Raiden.
We're sensing a theme here on this show.
But is this the scene that he takes the vial and puts the pieces together?
Yes.
And he's just like,
Correct.
I know where we came from now. He hasn't done that. It easily goes right back together and the letters line up. I would assume that this company is publicly traded. He couldn't figure this out.
I'm actually really glad you brought this up because I had the same thought. I'm like,
too.
you've known these initials forever, but then I thought, can Master Splinter use a computer? Do they have the internet? It's 1991.
New York Stock Exchange. That's newspapers.
That's fair. Master Splinter does have.
Yeah, he's got to been able. I mean, he is all about stay down below. You know, we hear that a lot in this movie.
Well, he knows.
Yeah, exactly.
knows.
Stay down below unless you're on the roof, and then
Master
you're
Splinter goes
coming
down.
to a
You heard
decision.
it here
Yeah.
first.
But yeah, I thought the same thing. It's like, oh, so now you know. Or maybe he just wanted to share it at that point. He wanted to be like, all right, this is why I was up here coming to a decision. Look at this file together.
But that is still a good point, Keenan, because the second they are like, oh yeah, this TGRI is that TGRI, it just cuts to the next scene of the professor like emptying the canisters of the remaining ooze, which really inefficient. Guy was really taking his time there. And it's just one guy, and he's working there at night. And then the Foot breaks in after being instructed by Master Shredder. He told Tatsu, bring your best men. You're going on a mission tonight. And so the Foot arrives at TGRA headquarters to grab the remaining ooze and are stopped by the turtles here. Actually, no, the turtles got here first. And I just wanted to make a quick call out to my boy Donnie, right? Donnie is so smart. They got here, and within 2 minutes, he was able to be like, oh, okay, they've drained all the ooze. Oh, there's one left. Oh, it should be here somewhere. And then that's when the Foot arrives. All within 2 minutes.
I broke the computer.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And then what happened, Brett, to your
he
boy Donnie
Yeah.
He called it
and
What
out
his
did he
ahead
do?
of time.
computer skills?
Listen. I forget my own password, and I've gotten locked out. He didn't know the person's password. You do what you can, and he was working on what a Windows 91. Give the
Should've
boy
been
some
even
credit.
Easier for him.
But don't you just let it go? Then you're like, you know what? This may call everybody to attention. Probably a bunch of Foot too. Let's just try again. Password one more time. Just
But why would
capitalize
it-
W
why-
this time.
Why would it call the Foot? You know, if I get my password wrong, the thing I'm not worried about is the Foot showing up.
I don't know. The whole system
Your
goes crazy.
computer is being directed to
Yeah.
the Foot.
Next time I get my
But I guess
password
Donnie's
wrong.
not that smart.
Yeah.
He said what would happen ahead of time. He planned a fail, and he was right. So he's the best one. That's facts. You heard it here first.
Interesting.
You know how they say you can fall up? Not this movie.
You can go down, Master Splinter. Anyway, so that's when the Foot arrived to take this last remaining vial of ooze that we know is the last one because Donnie pointed it out. And I just couldn't help but laugh because if you watched, so there was a lot of Foot there, right? And there was four turtles. And if you watch, like specifically just watch some of the foot soldiers in the background. They had like an upper deck, like a mezzanine, like a balcony or something, and there's just like 6 of them standing up there. And while the ones on the ground are fighting, you just have the 6 of them standing up there, like shaking their
They're just
fists like
dancing up
violently.
there.
Yeah,
It's the club.
and then it's like, oh, they got knocked down. That's our cue to jump down. And I still, this is a very goofy kids PG movie, but still, we talked about this in Mortal Kombat. But why do people fight one at a time, especially when you have the upper hand in numbers? I hate it.
It was very interesting to watch. It's one thing. There was a little double teaming though. I can't remember what turtle it was, but this scene, I I almost paused it and left at that point where he jumps on the computer chair and he's riding the computer chair after, of course, yelling "Surfs Up." So it must have been Michelangelo. Surfs up, and he's riding it, and he's defeating all these foot. And who remembers what's the one thing that stops him and ruins everything?
Like a broomstick.
A broomstick. Just one. Like
I thought that was great.
They show this one scene of this guy being like, "I got this broomstick," as there's a turtle riding a chair, kicking people in the face, and he's like, "Boop!" He just puts it on the ground, and then destruction. Just I was just like, "Oh my god, this scene!" I couldn't get out of my head.
So what you're saying is you have a problem with the way Michelangelo was just being ridiculous and
You know what though? I don't know if it was Michelangelo.
He said "Surfs Up," but
but I remember that scene too. I don't think it was Michelangelo. I'm gonna go ahead and blame Donatello.
I don't remember exactly.
Donatello was just too busy hacking the system and getting shit done, so it couldn't have been him.
But this Ninja Turtle is riding this chair, and then this broomstick's in the way, and it causes him to just lose all of his equilibrium and fly off and get messed up.
I mean, it definitely could have been Raphael, because Raphael is doing whatever anyone else is not, because he's got to be different.
Yeah, I don't see him riding a chair though. Cowabunga, Surfs Up.
Nice. Yeah, so we all agree it was Michelangelo. Let's move on. Then after that, it's when the boys back at April are found out by Kino, who just takes it upon himself to enter April's apartment, which was kind of weird, but I guess you have to move the plot along. And so Kino discovers the turtles, and then they just reveal absolutely everything to this pizza delivery man. So then we were turtles in a sewer, and this ooze was poured on us. Yeah, this is our rat. But also, Kino has fought with and re-met 4 giant turtles, right? They speak, they are funny, they're intelligent, and then he sees the same thing but in a rat, and he's like, nope, I'm gonna pass out, and then he just faints immediately. But shortly after this scene, that is where we have our resident professor, now captured by Shredder, pouring the ooze on some mysterious new creatures. What do you guys think those are going to be?
The most vicious animals they could find.
Yep, something just diabolical. You can't tell. I mean, it's behind a bunch of garbage.
Was it steaming garbage?
It wasn't this time. Apparently, that's only for Shredder. He only gets the steam.
So then the boys decide, we got to move out of April's house. It's too dangerous, and they are trekking through the sewers. And this scene, I remember, frustrated me so much as a kid. And I'm not even doing a bit right now, but freaking Raphael, I've had it. I'm leaving, and then he leaves, and literally not even 30 seconds later is when they find their house. Like, you could have just literally shouted up in the sewer, "Hey, Raph, come back," and that would have changed the rest of the movie. I hated that.
This bugged you?
Yeah,
Nothing else in the movie did?
Yeah, this was the part.
This is the only part of the movie that bugged me.
Everything else, perfect.
There's every Turtles movie. There's one time where Raph goes away. He gets his trench coat, his hat, and he goes off on his own.
He's
I mean,
pretty
Because he's
rude.
kind of a little bitch.
yeah.
He's pretty rude,
Whoa,
or quite
whoa!
Oh.
I think that's not being a little bitch. That's being a tough guy. He's a tough dude.
What makes him tough? Would you say?
Yeah.
He's brave. He'll fight for what's right. He doesn't always wait for backup, but he does it anyways.
How many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies have you seen where that leads to a problem?
You gotta have the problem before you can find the solution.
I don't know. I think what we're all collectively saying here, we're all in agreement, is that Raphael is the worst turtle.
Oh,
and
wait. Let's just talk about what I just said. Raphael maybe creates the problem so that they can get a solution. Whereas in Donatello's case, a perfectly working computer was the solution. Donatello came over there and created a problem.
I would like
I
to
think
hand.
we can all agree that Donatello is the worst Ninja Turtle.
I would like to hand you a 1991 computer and tell you to do it, to even just do functions on it. Donatello.
I had a
is world
1991 computer when I was a kid. I
Oh,
played
so you were
Oregon
rich.
Trail.
Got it.
Oh
You were
my
rich.
gosh.
Got it. Yeah.
The one of the things that I remembered from this movie was how cool that subway station was. And like as a kid, I agree. I was maybe not like the secret passage, but I was pretty jealous of
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's just cool when they like turn on the lights
Mhm.
and they have that little train car.
Walk around with a payphone, be able to use it still. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mobile
Mobile
payphone.
mobile payphone.
They pioneered that
Yeah.
technology.
I would
Aren't all
agree.
cell
That's
phones
cool.
just mobile payphones?
Yeah. That's a cool scene for sure when they show that. Like it's pretty cool when you're able to see them.
My first reaction to seeing it now is like, oh wow, this actually reminds me a lot of Casper when Kat and her dad first get there and they're like seeing all the dust and all the stuff on all the rooms. Yeah, call back to earlier Rotten Gems episode. Thank you for listening.
From 5 years ago.
We don't talk about it. There was a gas leak.
What
It actually made me
year
think of
is it?
V for Vendetta, but not because of the dustiness, just because of the subway.
Wasn't there a date you're supposed to remember with?
I don't know.
November 5th.
Yeah,
Remember, November 5th?
November
That's how
5th,
it goes.
11/5.
That's how it goes, guys. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows it. All right. Getting towards the good part of the movie, which is all of it, but
Woo!
continuing on the good part, we are introduced to our two baddies of the movie here, Toka and Razor.
Bebop
And
and
Roxbury. Yes.
So it's funny
Roxbury?
because Roxbury.
That's what we call him.
Even better.
Yeah.
It's funny because originally the studio wanted it to be Bebop and Rocksteady, but the creators of TMNT, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they were not in favor of it. They're like, no, we don't want that in this movie.
They
No,
wanted
this movie
Roxbury.
sucks.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're gonna keep this cinematic masterpiece as it is with two new characters,
Yeah, that's definitely what they were thinking.
Toka and Razor, based off of a wolf and a snapping turtle, two of the most vicious animals I can think of.
Which the whole creation of these two, it actually added a little bit of depth for this movie, which was interesting because when you first see it, you're like, man, I know the turtles didn't have like the scientists making up this ooze for them to be able to turn into it, but you see that for Toka and Razor, and then you're like, well, that's a hole, right? And then they kind of explain that later on in the movie. So actually, that was a plus for this movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that they explained that later on.
Yeah, they were a great addition, and I really liked the dynamic that they took with this movie, showing that single parents they're still strong, and Shredder was a great mom to them. So I'm glad to see that relationship was thriving.
Wait, what?
Shredder, he was their mama.
He was a terrible mama.
He let them go play,
He literally wanted to kill them.
but he didn't.
Without saying it too, PG-13 status. He said, "For now,"
Yeah.
implying for us grown-ups that he's gonna kill these kids.
Listen, guys, I don't know about you, but I was a little shit when I was a kid, and I'm sure my mom wanted to kill me sometimes. She didn't.
I feel like Shredder does this a couple times through the movie where he's not a great leader. So there's this scene where he wants to kill him, even though they're clearly great weapons. And then also he goes and sends the guy to follow April, and he comes back with the dandelion, and he's like, "That's not what I asked for, but it'll do."
But it's even better. But I'm glad you brought that up because I'm in agreement. Shredder is not a good leader. He messes up so many times. Like he even acknowledges, he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm shit. I'm trash." So like he's just a guy with spikes on his outfit. What's so special about him? I'm saying this because aside from really this movie, I wouldn't consider myself a fan of the TMNT. Like I'm not interested in the series, or I watched the cartoon when I was a kid, but it's like Transformers. I'm not excited to go see the new
Don't
TMNT
compare
movie.
Transformers.
You're right. Yeah, no, nobody would do that. Yeah.
Well, this,
I mean,
this movie.
Nobody would do that yet.
Shredder's like a master martial arts dojo master, so that's why he's the leader, because he supposedly is the best at everything when it comes to martial arts, except for the person that
Fighting?
beats him. No. The rat.
That's interesting. I didn't know his official title was Master Martial Arts Dojo Master.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He just shortens it down to master because it fits easier on a name tag.
Rolls off
to
the
wear
tongue.
it.
No, no, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. For sure.
The coolest thing about Shredder in this movie is when I found out who played him.
Same.
And I found out it was Dr. Pierre Chang from the
Lost
greatest TV show ever,
Yes.
Lost.
And this is how we tell Brett that we're switching to a Lost podcast.
Oh, hell yeah, I'll do that.
I'm good with it. The only problem is that critics love Lost.
Oh.
Up to a point.
Yeah, I was like, they don't love the ending, but I do.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'll fight for that ending.
Oh, I'll fight anybody for that ending too. If he would have said Dharma Initiative once, Marcus would have been like, "This is the greatest movie ever." Like he's in it.
I mean, to be fair, I think he did this first. So he's not the guy from Lost. He was the guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze on Lost, right?
You cut out there. I couldn't hear you, Brett. I don't know what you said.
I hate you. All right. So now we've got where's Raphael been this whole time? Well, he's met up with Kino here, and Kino's going to go join the Foot in a true test of ability, I guess.
Met up, sacrifice, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
we've already established Raphael is a heartless. He only does what he wants.
The tactician. He sets up the plans in motion. Without Raphael pushing this along, this movie would have been 4 hours long, and I would have killed myself.
Okay.
No, that's a good point. He's the hero.
That's just the writers. We're getting stuck. We need to make Raphael do something stupid. Just jump us into it with no planning.
Yeah. So Raphael gets captured while taking. I hate you. I'm just not even acknowledging it anymore. So Raphael gets captured.
And what does Raphael do when he gets captured?
Gets tied up like a little bitch.
He saves Kino.
Did he, or did he just do things while Kino saved himself by using his own legs?
No, Kino got in trouble because he waited. Raphael got in front of him. He was like, what do you say? Do you have like a muffler for whatever? I don't know.
77 Chevy.
Yeah. And He stepped in front of Kino
I think
to
you're
protect him.
misremembering things because Kino only got in trouble because he was seen talking to a turtle. Because
No.
he was widely accepted at this junkyard until he was seen talking to our AWOL turtle here.
Let's be honest. That was bound to happen anyways. Kino's not a very smart guy.
Wow, Kino hate. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I see what you're all about. Yeah. Mhm. But anyway, so then the boys come and rescue Raphael, and this is my favorite dialogue exchange in the whole movie here. And I wish that you guys wrote this down so we could do it in character. But it starts with Donatello going, "The perimeter's quiet," and then Leo, "Yeah, a little too quiet." And then they knock out a couple foot soldiers. Back to Donatello, easily best turtle in the movie. Well, that was easy. Leonardo again. Yeah, a little too easy. Then they're about to go, and then they find Raphael. "Look, it's Raph." Yeah, a little too Raph.
Oscar winning for best screenplay.
That was even better than the Casablanca line that was in the movie as well.
That was great.
Yeah.
I will give Michelangelo that.
This is your favorite dialogue because this probably comprises of 80% of the dialogue in this entire movie.
No, 80% of the dialogue is cowabunga.
No,
said 100 times.
It's the words "Go ninja, go ninja, go."
That's true.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah. Very, very valid point. So they chaos ensues. They're in the junkyard, and then they find a sewer. And
Hey, wait. Chaos ensues. You're skipping over where the other 3 Ninja Turtles also got caught.
saving Raphael because they have to clean up his mistake.
Well, you made a big deal about Raphael getting captured, but the other 3, blah blah blah. They don't.
Well, if you would allow me to finish my sentence, I was going to say chaos ensues, and they find a sewer, and all of them are able to escape because Donatello, master planner, came here and they saved Raphael, and they were able to escape.
I'm pretty sure Splinter saved them.
Yeah. Which how did they not see
Donatello.
that? How did they not see the net? How did they not see that giant cargo net on the ground when they were fighting around Raphael?
What was the plan to kill them? All right, we caught them.
Drop them on a bunch of spikes.
On pitchforks.
Here.
Pitchforks and
A shovel was one of them.
Yeah, it was just like sharpened.
Wait.
A little closer.
Little closer. I was
Almost there.
that was literally where I was like, man, we got to get this to 2 hours. What can we do?
Yeah. like if you're
Little
the guy
closer.
Yeah, if you're the guy driving the forklift, how are you not just like, yeah, I know, I can see.
Yeah, they make it, and that's right. That's a great point. They make it seem like that he's like, there's like this giant thing, and he wants him in this one area of everything that's going to kill him, and then you show it, and they're over just dirt until they're not even over. It's just like little closer. Just
I could go a lot faster. No, easy.
Next time you guys are in a car and someone else is driving, a little more when you're approaching a red light. No, I get it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that scene was very cringe worthy.
And would that have killed them?
I no,
shells,
like
yeah.
I thought about that too. I was like, is that gonna kill him?
There was space in between it. It was just like they were stuck in like 2 feet apart.
Like I feel like at worst, maybe a shovel head's going up an ass, which is bad. Don't get me wrong, and you would leave feeling different, but probably alive.
Oh, very alive.
Yeah.
Very alive. Better than coffee, I'd say.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, now that we've talked about this is where they find the manhole that leads to the sewer. And I hated this because you have the entire Foot Clan chasing you, and let's lead them right back to our house by going through the sewer here. Now, luckily...
Who found the manhole? Would
I
that be
remember.
your boy, Michelangelo?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Raphael.
Here.
Didn't he get like thrown out the club or something into it? Like he just got tossed and he lands on it and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
The worst
He
Ninja
found it.
Turtle.
He found it.
But the boys escape with the professor, and the professor seems pretty chill with the turtles.
The mad
Takes them back
scientist.
to their lair, and I guess for story's sake they couldn't follow the turtles because I don't remember. I don't know if it's Toko or Razor, but the snapping turtle gets stuck in the manhole,
True.
and they did him dirty. So did they pull him out, or was Bad Mom Shredder just like, nah, you're in there forever?
He dies now.
He dies. Yeah,
He just got his feet tickled a little bit, and then
He got
we don't
really into
know.
food.
Yeah.
exactly. So now we have the doctor speeding up a little bit. Has made a cure, an antidote, a small. It was set to Wumbo. He needed to set it to Minnie to reverse the Toka Razor situation. So that's when the boys decide, all right, let's put this mixed concoction in the pre-fight donut. April tells him, yo, you got to go to this place to fight them, or they're going to basically send out Toka and Razor to rampage on the city again, which they had just done for the first time. And boy, let me tell you, if that wasn't some New Yorkers reacting like New Yorkers in my head, I don't know, I've never been to New York, but they're Toka and Razor thrashing about on the street. I made sure I clipped this. You see like this old couple getting into a taxi, and the guy says, "Look, Sophie, those animals are knocking down the telephone pole. What do we do if we come over here?" And let them get their own cab. Pure comedic 1991 genius.
I think that everything that has to do with New York in this movie is 100% accurate.
Any New Yorkers in the house? Tell us otherwise. Otherwise, we're just going to assume it's accurate.
We're going to assume the steaming garbage and the rats and not caring about a giant snapping turtle and apparently a wolf snapping
true.
down telephone poles.
So we've reached the end scene, and that is the junkyard confrontation here with the boys. You know, the donut plan doesn't really work. They eat one, then they're found out. More chaos ensues, and then they're spilled into a nightclub, which apparently they didn't hear any of that, despite it being next door.
That is soundproofing.
Yeah.
That was
It's
great.
soundproofing.
And they get thrown in there, and the crowd's immediate reaction is, "Dang, these guys' costumes are awesome." But was it Halloween, or like they had never had any mention of what time of year it was? It's just a costume party.
Have you ever been on ecstasy?
I can't say that I have.
I don't think that question was running through their head. What day is it?
They're just like, yeah, nightclub costumes, you know how it is, right? But then we see the star of the movie, Vanilla Ice,
Oh yeah.
create an impromptu song, which is one of my least favorite tropes in the movie, and that's, let's create a song on the fly that everybody knows the words to and the choreography for on the spot. Which I'm telling you though, that song, like, I'll just be sometimes like doing the dishes. Yep, exactly. Just busting out, go ninja, go. Fun fact though, that this movie was following the success of the first movie, and they're like, yo, we're giving you more budget. They gave them $25 million for this budget, but they had already spent most of the first movie's budget on the costumes and whatnot, which they still had. So they put most of that budget instead for the film's soundtrack, and yeah, that's why they were able to book such big name Vanilla Ice, known most famously for stealing something else. Which I would argue that this song is even better than Ice Ice Baby. No,
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
This
agree.
might be top 10 songs all time, including
under
Beatles, Elvis. This
under
tops.
the Space song and the Mortal Kombat songs, right? But yeah, so chaos ensues again. Anybody else have anything you want to bring up about this ninja rap fight? Um, Aside from just, if I was there, this would be the night of my life. I would never forget this.
Vanilla Ice and Ninja Turtles? This is sick!
How exactly were they able to throw Shredder out a window using the max volume on an amplifier?
Power of sound.
The
bud.
bass, it was an amazing scene. Just 100% scientifically accurate.
Man, those amps or those speakers are more dangerous than guns.
Yeah,
It's like you need to have like a background check just to buy them.
what you actually saw was Michelangelo inventing the bass drop for the first time, and that's why that's where techno was born, or dubstep, whatever the one was. Yeah, I'm old. So then this is where the very final showdown here. We've seen Shredder tried to take a hostage, didn't really work out. Has a little stashed away vial of the ooze. He goes off camera, and what does this crazy bastard do? He puts it in his butthole.
Easiest way to ingest it.
Yeah,
Quickest way to the bloodstream. Makes sense.
bypass the kidney.
Yeah,
I'm sure he got
yeah.
like annihilated instantly.
He was just like, man, the turtle and the wolf took way too long. What's a way I can speed this up?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
And he needed to change his, do a wardrobe change too. So yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up,
Yeah.
because I was going to say, did he do a wardrobe change, or did the ooze just be like, nah, this extends to
I
this
got
costume?
this.
We got you.
Change
like
color and more glitter. Or no glitter in this one. That's right.
Jason X movie. Any of you guys seen Jason X?
The one is that where he's in space?
Where he's in space, and like the little nanotech infuses with his hockey mask and stuff like that.
I've never even heard of this. Interesting. But I guess this is where I start to question this ooze for its practicality, right? So the whole movie, they're disposing of the ooze. They're trying to get rid of it. It's bad. It has terrible implications. But couldn't you, in theory, just take some ooze, pour it on a loaf of bread? There you go. Ship that off to areas of starvation, and you've turned a problem into a solution here. Or am I reading into this too much?
I think you might be reading in too much. I think that's now poisonous bread, and that's going to kill somebody. Who
Just
eats it.
cancer
That's what
everywhere.
I was gonna say. It's like, is it safe to eat? Because
the mad scientist mentioned something about like it has some ill effect too. Like I can't remember exactly what he says.
It
Just
turns
just
you
to
into a famous wrestler.
just for a line of don't eat this at home, kids. Like, oh yeah, you don't want to do this because this bad thing will happen. So kids don't try to make their own slime at home. And I get it. Like I said, this was a PG movie, and it actually did win the Kids' Choice Award for Best Movie. So yeah, it was
kids
Best
are
Picture.
dumb.
I mean, you're not wrong. But yeah, so final shred off with
Super
here,
Shredder.
Super Shredder, played by none other than WWF at the time wrestler Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Did you not know that?
Super
No,
Shredder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Kevin Nash was Super Shredder, much bigger, and then just in pure grunt fashion took himself out.
I know. Just steroid rage. What was the plan there? Just destroy everything around me.
I laughed so hard during this scene because it was so reminiscent of Captain America when the guy throws the kid in the water and he's just like, just keep going, I can swim. And their way of winning this fight is, hey, we're turtles, we can swim.
Yeah.
And like, couldn't Shredder swim too?
I know, like, why couldn't a normal person just jump in
Shredder
that
had
water?
Shitload of metal on. He was sinking straight to the ground.
And he needs to be piled up in some garbage so he can be in the next movie.
Some steamy garbage at that. But in fact, that didn't happen, and we saw his hand rise up from the ashes again, only to fall permanently, and that is the end of the Shredder. Cut to Master Splinter again, reading his stockbroker magazine, aka the newspaper, revealing that Ninja Rap is born, and that's why we are where we are today. But that is that. You guys want to play some games?
Vanilla Ice is now renovating houses.
Yeah, and you forgot Master Splinter's best line in the movie too. I made a funny again. They had to put
It
that
was
in.
actually I made another funny.
There you go. Sorry.
Don't question Brett's ability
Yeah.
to quote
Yeah.
this horrible movie.
Don't quote Raphael's ability to mess everything up.
You know what? We're turtles, so we can survive in water. Let's jump in this water.
And survive they did.
He did
So
also
I
miss
guess
one of the cameos in this movie. Going back to the steaming garbage, it also references this movie.
That was a little Easter egg.
I guess
But at the very beginning of this movie.
I guess that is a perfect segue into my question of does this movie hold up?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, are you saying that because you're essentially watching it for the first time as an adult?
I mean, I did see this movie as a kid. There were parts that I remembered. I remember Toka and Razor, whatever their
Do you
their
remember them?
names.
Do you remember them?
Anybody that's seen this movie, that's what they remember. Is
I
just
remember
those.
the coochie coochie coo thing when he's tickling his feet. Like I said, the clown where he's like pretending to be that little clown thing where he rocks back and forth. But yeah, it didn't matter. This movie sucks.
Keenan, what say ye?
Oh, I already said no. I think I spent about an hour explaining this. do not go back and watch this movie.
John,
As an avid Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, cartoon, all the stuff, it does not hold up. Just can't. Don't watch it.
I can real quick. I can what word am I looking for? I can back up John's fandom because my kids have a little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bathrobe that John bought for them.
Yeah.
On one of
And
their
I was
birthdays.
Leonardo as a kid for Halloween, costume made by my mom and sisters. Pictures incoming.
so you were the second best Ninja Turtle. That's
No,
awesome.
it's the best one with the weapons that I apparently never get to use. They're just two little things on my back.
Maybe if you would have gone with the best Ninja Turtle and got a bow staff, you could have used it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could stop chairs.
Honestly, Leonardo and Donatello kind of are interchangeable.
Whoa, they're brothers, dude.
Whoa.
Michelangelo and Raphael are the ones that really stick out because they actually have personalities.
Okay, but if I have a basket of fruit and one sucks,
white toast.
Right. But if I have a basket of apples, right, and one of them is rotten, sure, it's going to stick out. Does that mean it's better?
It is if it's a rotten gem.
Damn. All right, you got me there.
Checkmate.
That's a win.
Shoot.
And where do we end that discussion other than there?
So you thought it stood out? It stood up to it, though, Brett?
Oh, yeah, I guess I could talk about that since my opinion is highly weighted against. But as far as is this a good movie? No, it absolutely is not a good movie. And I'm being a fan of the movie, I know that for sure. It's not a good movie at all. Is it a fun movie that I saw as a kid that I had fun watching as an adult? Yes, absolutely. Was it nice to take that little stroll down nostalgia lane? Yes, it was. Did the I guess the effects hold up? There was some clunky and silly special effects when someone gets punched or draws a weapon or something. Which whatever, that's any '90s movie. But we've already praised Jim Henson. The turtles looked good. All the animatronics looked good. A lot of work went into that. So. Aside from Kino's little off-color joke that I didn't like as an adult, that I thought was maybe hilarious, and some of the fighting and just being goofy all around, I think it holds up, but for different reasons. So do what you will with that. If you're listening, you got 4 opinions here. I am sure you're bound to agree with one of them, and if you don't, let us know. Let us know either way. Find us on Instagram, Rotten Gems. But now, moving on, a little game we like to call 7 Degrees of Who, and it's going to be a little interesting here, bringing a 4th person into this. But what we try to do is we take a actor or actress from the movie and connect them to a random celebrity from randomlist.com/random celebrities. So John, I don't know if you've ever played this game, but you know how it works. Is there a person from TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, you would like to start with?
Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna suck at this for this actors. Let's go with David Warner because I don't want to pick the obvious one. The guy I want to pick.
Okay, so we'll go
Was the
David Warner.
obvious one Ernie Reyes
Chow.
Jr.?
No, that's Lost guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kevin Nash. That would have been the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had one for Ernie Reyes Jr. only because I know one other movie he's in.
We can go David Warner. We know some other stuff he's in, right?
I have no idea who that is.
I mean,
You do though.
really, John is the only one who's got to take us out of it because John, you're going to start.
Okay.
But our random list celebrities, our number 1 on the list is Amanda Seyfried. Can we do this?
Have we had her?
Have we?
I don't.
I can pick a different one if we want.
We might have had her.
Okay, fine. I'll refresh, and it gave me Anne Hathaway. Let's do that one.
Anne Hathaway.
She does.
So we've got.
Hathaway.
So we've got. We're trying to go from David Warner to Anne Hathaway, alternating, and you can only take us one movie at a time. So you could start us off, John.
So I'm saying we're starting at Anne Hathaway or we're starting
Yeah,
at David Warner?
You're starting at David Warner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titanic.
With
Name an actor in Titanic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and we're trying to get back to Anne Hathaway. Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio.
okay, strong start. Keenan, since you love this movie the most out of all of us, I think you should go next.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in The Departed with.
Are you a cop?
I am not cop.
Jesus.
Let's do Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Marky
okay.
Mark.
Marky. Speaking of Marky Mark, Marcus, you're up.
All right. Marky Mark. I want to go with Transformers, but honestly, on the ones that he's in, I don't think I've ever seen, so I don't know who's in them. So we'll go with Mark Wahlberg was in The Other Guys with Will Ferrell.
Okay. Oh, we can maybe do this here. Let's see, Will Ferrell. Dang. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit off here. Let's go. Will Ferrell was in Blades of Glory with John Heder.
John Heder was in Benchwarmers with
Nick Swardson. Nice.
Yeah, not Nick Swartz, the You Can Do It guy. I can't remember his actual real name.
Oh. Rob
Schneider.
Schneider.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rob
All right.
Schneider. Yeah.
Are we going to Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider.
Do it, Keenan.
All right. So Rob Schneider was in The Hot Chick with Anna Faris.
Okay.
Oh, Anna Faris. I was going for Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, I was gonna say not the one I wanted you to go to, but it kind of works. So who are we trying to get to? Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Anna Faris was in Take Me Home Tonight with her ex-husband, Chris Pratt.
All right. I'm gonna open this up. We're gonna go Chris Pratt to Avengers Endgame with Sebastian Stan and we can take it home here.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan.
Don't feel bad, John. If it's not obvious, don't feel bad. Because
It's not obvious
I
for
think three of the four of us have no idea what he's going for.
Yeah, I have no idea who that
It's-
is.
This movie was so good.
I mean, he's in. The only other movie I can think of him in is Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm going to say main actor in that one. So Sebastian Stan was in Hot Tub Time Machine with John Cusack.
All right. John Cusack was in High Fidelity with Jack Black.
Great movie.
Ooh,
Great
good
movie.
job.
Let's make a
Um,
list. Top 5 7 degrees of whatever. This is at the bottom.
we were doing so good. We've had like
I know.
a couple weeks of just like bang, 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 got it.
Right.
Okay. I have the path. Think
I know
hard
the path.
before you do this.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking at all.
Recent movie.
Recent. Yep.
Yeah, I'm set on the route I'm gonna go, and it's not gonna get us there.
Oh,
No.
I see it too. I see
You
it
can
too.
do it.
Recent movie?
Yes. Jack Black.
I got a way. I don't know if you guys are gonna understand this way, but I have a way. Jack Black was in the new Jumanji movies.
Yes.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
with The Rock. Dwayne
Thank you.
Johnson.
Yes, that was the way. And The Rock was in Get Smart with Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway.
there you
There
go.
you
That's
go.
what I was thinking.
Thank you. How many was that? Too many. But
That
what's
was
the
1,
number?
2, 3, 4, 13.
Okay.
That's
Not as bad as
I was gonna say.
expected.
I feel like we've done worse. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've done worse. Well, like one of our first ones had to be, right? Okay, so we have a little bit of a problem here, fellas. Normally at this juncture, we like to play a little game called Bed, Wed, Behead. But you see, there's 4 of us. So are we going to add another adjective, or are we still going to stick to Bed, Wed, Behead and just maybe assign 2 of those roles to one?
Wait, what?
Oh, no, we'll just
Just the 3?
I'll bow out of
I'll bow
picking
out. I'll bow
of
out.
picking
You
a
already
character.
bowed out. You already bowed
Yeah,
out.
I already
No,
bowed out.
you 3 already bowed out by hating this movie, so I don't want to be associated with you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm good. You guys pick your 3. But
Hey.
I'm still going to offer my opinion.
Are you
on the
gonna
3?
Tell
Yeah.
me the
So we pick. Each of you are
Just
going to
pick a
pick a
character.
person from the movie. One rule: no Ninja Turtles.
like bestiality? Like we're
Then-
not cool with that.
Then I
Well,
bow out.
just because it's not fair to Marcus when we pick the 3 best Ninja Turtles and Raphael's left hanging. You know, so
Oh.
yeah.
All the best ones end with O.
We left him out because we're going to
Everybody's
Donatello.
But there's enough other characters. So pick 3. Each of you pick a
Are
character
there?
from. Yeah, there's plenty.
When
have
I was
3.
watching this movie, I was thinking about this game, and I was like, I can't even think of anybody. I want to be
I
associated
mean, all you had to
with.
do is watch the movie.
I have the 3 if you want me to just give you my 3 and we just go off
Yeah,
the
give me the 3.
All right.
Or, hold on, let John.
John,
You
John,
lead.
you pick a movie or pick a person from the movie.
From the movie we watched,
Yeah,
and I
Unless you
need to
want Keenan
pick
to just pick all
Pick
3.
one of them.
who. And do I say if I'm going to
No.
wed, or behead this person?
Not until we
Right.
have all 3. But pick a person to be added to this equation.
Okay, Splinter.
You
Ugh.
furry freak. Just kidding. If you are furry, I don't understand, but I'm not
Don't
judging.
shame me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
This
judging. I
dude
just
said
don't
to
understand.
fuck a goat.
All right. So, are you bowing out, Keenan or Marcus? Keenan, you gonna do 2?
Do you want me to do the 2? Are you good
I
with
mean,
that,
Marcus doesn't want to do any, so you can just give 2.
Yeah,
of
go
them.
ahead.
We're going to go with Shredder. And we're going to go with Super Shredder.
Ah,
Man.
what was gonna be your 3rd?
Tatsu.
Is that
the helper of Shredder.
Yeah, okay.
His
Which,
right
by the
hand.
way,
The guy that just sprints.
one thing I forgot to mention, Tatsu was an act like somebody played him, and then somebody else played his voice.
Because all
Why?
he did was.
I'll be the leader
Anyway.
now. Ugh.
Unless like Tatsu's real voice is just like, well, hey guys, Master Shredder. Anyway, all right, Shredder, Super Shredder, and Splinter. Take it
John,
away,
you go first.
John, you go first.
What am I?
Bed one. You got to bed one, behead one, and
Okay.
wed one.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna bed Tatsu. Right, I mean that's obvious. That's
Tatsu's not one of them.
whoever. Sorry, who did we? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Shredder, Super Shredder. I forgot my own, so I forgot
Don't worry,
Splinter.
John.
Yeah,
I completely forgot to.
yeah. So I'm gonna bed Super Shredder then, right? I mean, that's pretty obvious.
He's
We're
a
gonna
power
be
bottom.
yeah, just power bottom. I mean, not really anything up there. Just all energy and power. That sounds like a good time. And then I'm going to behead regular Shredder, and then I'm gonna marry Splinter.
All right, I'm gonna go with John here. I'm gonna say the exact same. Marrying Splinter is probably for the best. And then you don't want Shredder because he's just a dick. But you do want Super Shredder because he's a super dick.
Yeah, I agree with John, and for all the same reasons. I have literally nothing to add.
Okay, I guess I'll be the odd one out here again.
Shocker.
I'm gonna change it up, and I'm gonna say I'm going to
Mary Donatello.
No, I was going to say that I will also bed Tatsu. No, I will bed Shredder, right? You know, he comes back from the dead. That means round 2 is right around the corner, right? I will wed Super Shredder, and the reason is because I'm definitely getting that life insurance money, and I will behead Splinter because I'm not trying to like sewer rats, you know? Like I don't know if I have the right shots for that.
Hmm.
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 Just ignore all his
Hmm.
training.
Yeah.
Turn you into a ninja.
Exactly. Yeah, he's gonna try to change me. Well, I don't know.
Well,
All right, guys. Coming up at the end here, we want to remind you that this movie was rated poorly on Rotten Tomatoes for reasons we can't imagine why.
no.
But we wanted to call out some of our favorite bad reviews from critics. Who wants to go first here?
I'll go first. So, my review is from Gene Siskel, pretty well-known critic. He wrote, I don't think my negative reaction is a case of a parent forgetting the sort of mindless entertainment that he himself enjoyed as a child. Rather, the turtle fights are more depressing than joyful. Gene, I can't agree with you more. Absolutely spot on.
Oof.
Yep, this movie was a big oof.
Oof. Keenan, what you got?
So, for mine, I couldn't bring myself to bring in a rotten review. So I actually changed it up last minute here. And I went with John Robinson of Santa Cruz Sentinel, who said that he liked the movie. And he said, I found myself sort of liking the turtles. And you have to admit that Cowabunga Dude is the perfect response to every question.
Cowabunga, dude.
No, it's not. It's not a proper response. That's lazy writing.
Whoa! Are you shitting on a good review? This has never happened in Rotten Gems history, folks.
You were wrong, sir.
All right, John, what's your bad review?
well, my bad review is not from Rotten Tomatoes as well, so my bad on that. I was just looking through him, and very well known name, and he probably shouldn't even watch this movie. So it's Roger Ebert, or Roger Ebert, excuse me, of the Chicago Sun -Times, and he had. If you want to read something of somebody looking too much into this movie, like thinking too much of it, read this review. I'll just read this last little part of it. That it's crazy. So today's kids are learning from the turtles that the world is a sinkhole of radioactive waste, and it's more reassuring to huddle together in sewers than take your chances competing at street level. And that individuality is dangerous. Cowabunga. Review over.
Did you write Cowabunga?
He wrote Cowabunga. Yep.
Awesome. That is
I mean,
great.
That is not the
Not a
lessons I
bad
took
guy.
from this as a kid, but I think he assumes too much for the thought process of children. But I guess I'll bring it home here with a review from Ralph Novak here, and Ralph writes, Ralph is from People Magazine, and the pinnacle of news articles and reviews.
For the people, right? That's what it
Hey.
means, right?
Paul Rudd's sexiest man alive, according to them. So,
But also is Blake Shelton. So
hey, Blake
PEMDAS.
Shelton is a Cardinal fan. He's a saint.
You
We
leave him
don't
alone.
talk ill.
Is he a
about
saint or
Blake
a Cardinal fan?
I was
Make-
like,
make
is
up
he
your
a
mind.
saint when he
You're
cheated
not a
on his
football
wife?
fan.
Hey,
You're not
you
supposed to
can make those
Hey.
jokes.
I've seen tens of minutes of a sports game. But Ralph here, he says, the swindle of a sequel is so dim that it looks as if it were lit by candles. And I felt like Ralph wrote this review and he stood back and he just like looked at it and he's like, God, I'm so fucking smart, and like went home and like jerked himself off, because this review is filled with a metaphor that doesn't need to be. Just say you didn't like the movie, Ralph. 3 people on this podcast did, and they had no problem doing it. So with that, I have to say, fuck
We'll
you,
probably still go home and jerk off to it.
I've been doing it the whole time.
Ralph. Is that what that sound was?
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll wrap this up here. But that was, again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Got a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes, critics believe that Michael Bay's Transformers was somehow a better movie than this. I swear to God,
I
you
absolutely
agree?
do. I absolutely agree.
I swear to God,
Me too.
friendship over.
Sorry, it lasted as long as it could until this
Same.
movie came.
But we did want to leave you with some words from the wise Mr. Professor Jordan Perry, and that is affirmative. Yes. Yo. Right on, my man. Not really, that's not the real quote. It is, do not confuse the specter of your origin with your present worth, my sons. From good old Master Splinter. Stay safe out there, and remember, Cowabunga dudes, and Raphael is the worst turtle.
Boo.
Join us next time when we don't leave the year 1991, and instead we visit another classic, Hook, starring Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. Until then, what do we say, fellas?
Don't watch this movie.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga.